So, children, let us start a chapter globalization. First of all, we must understand what is globalization. Globalization means globe. Globe means all around the model of the earth. So, globalization means what is happening around the globe, around the world, and what are all its benefit, what are all its positive, and what are all its negative. So these are all things we are going to discuss in the chapter globalization. So basically globalization is a flow of ideas. Flow of ideas means, suppose if one country is doing research on one thing and it is getting spread in all over the world, and other countries are also going to work on that research so that the whole world can get benefit. And then capital commodities, again the capital commodities again all about are the economic part, how our economy can grow and how the developing countries or developed countries can become more developed, and the people from one part to of the world to another part, how the people who are really uh, good in one field and how they can give the benefit to the whole world. So all combined together there is a definition. Basically globalization is the flows of ideas, capital, commodities and people from one part of the world to another part. So all these flows existed in the past also, but the scale and the speed of the flow is in contemporary world is account for the uniqueness of the globalization. See, it is not like that globalization is happening now only, it was there in the past also, but now as we are developing, whatever is being developed, it is developing in all over the world. So that is globalization. For example, if we there are so many example, if we talk about smartphones, tablets and technology, there are n number of apps, so which is there in all over the world. So technological advancement in transportation and communication is one of the major factor behind globalization. See, due to the technology only, now the people, they can travel from one part to another part of the world, and communication through the technology, through mobile phones, through Wi-Fi, through video conferencing, through there are so many other techniques also where the globalization is playing an important role. So the major factor, technological advancement, transport and communication is the major factor behind the globalization. Then see, there is a factors are there, resources are there, but there should be awareness also. Yes, this thing is there. So awareness about the importance of the interconnectedness of the people all over the world is also responsible for globalization. See, now earlier if you see, the people for communicating to even to the relatives, they used to give their messages through pigeons and all, but now within a second you can talk, you can know about each and everything what is happening around the world. Within a 1 second through phone you can talk to the your relatives, and through the media, through different channels, through television you come to know. For example, if we talk about today's coronavirus only, every moment we know how many cases are there globally, India wise, state wise. So how it is possible? Only because of the globalization. Then what are the political consequences? Political consequences क्या है globalization के? The first, globalization result in an erosion of state capacity. Basically whatever is there in the state, that particular people they know, and this is the result of one of the state capacity ki, yes, this state is good in this state is good in this. Then it increase the role of the multinational company and reduce the capacity of the government. Yes, how? Because if we talk now, there are so many multinational companies are there, and they are working on it, and they are giving the employment to the people are happy working with them, they are giving them job satisfaction, they are there with the trades and import and export they are doing. So through that our economy to growing, but the role of the government is decreased over there. So this is the another the political consequences, like due to the increased role of the multinational companies, reduce the capacity of the government. Then the role of the government is limited to maintenance of law and order and the security of the people. How? Because if the suppose one person is working under a multinational company, so basically multinational company is a foreign company, foreign based company, so they have formed their own law and order, they have their own guidelines. To whoever is working under them, they are working according to their guidelines, they are working according to their this thing. So government's role is becoming very minimum in it. So now basically second is role of the state is also important, essential function done by the state, like whatever the state, here we talk about what state means, country, whatever country in the globalization, whatever countries you can see in the picture, all countries flags are there, whichever country is good in whichever things, they should also help other countries, they should also uh, get the things done for other countries, and whatever good from other countries they can get the things from there also. And basically it is rivalry between the states which is still exists. So here role of the state is important, essential functions which are done by the state in the globalization. Then the modern technology is also helpful for the states to collect more information about their state. See, now for example, if we talk about your PAN cards, your Aadhaar cards, there are so many personal identities are given to license to one person. So how? Through the technology, through by one of your Aadhaar card, government will come to know your whole details. So basically this is the advancement of the technology, where the one person he has entered the details, so the government can come to know from any where whether he how much money he is having, whichever bank he is having, wherever he is traveling, because that is used in the air tickets, train tickets, then it is checked at every moment. If you want to go for any loan, there also we need your PAN card, we need your ITR, we need your this thing Aadhaar card. So due to the advancement of the technology, it is helping for the states to collect more information about their citizens. So state is the better able to rule with this information. So state becomes more powerful also, because nobody can hide anything from the government, and government has the exact information what the people they are doing, how much money they have, and how they are moving from one place to another, and what is the count of their state. So basically state becomes the more powerful also due to the technology. Then till now what we have studied is that was the political consequences, where the state becomes more powerful, where the advancement is required. So now economic consequences, what are all the economic consequences of the globalization? See, under economic globalization, SAARC, ASEAN, there are so many international organizations which are working on it. Why they are working on it? Why they are forming the different organization to develop the economy. So, and different meeting they are having. And for the economic this thing, IMF is the International Monetary Fund, and W2 is the World Trade Organization, which play an important role in determining the economic policies across the world, how economy can grow, what are all the ideas, how much interest has to be given, on which scheme it has to be given. So through economic consequences, all the international financial institutions are working. Then greater trade in commodities across the world. What are all the, suppose if one country want to do business with another countries, how much the restriction should be there, what are all parts to be relaxed, whether it is through by road, whether it is through by air, whether it is through by seas, or however it is, which way to be followed, which mode to be followed, and what are all things to be restricted and what are all things to be relaxed. So this is the greater trade in commodities across the world. Then spread of internet also fasten globalization process. Yes, as we have discussed, now there are so many things, we can talk to our relatives all around the world anytime. Then we can travel from one place to another place, we can book the tickets from. Then there are so many mobile phones, there are so many games, tablets, through media we come to know there are so many apps through where the globalization process is spreading all over the country. Then developed countries put restriction of visa policy to protect their job security of their citizens. See now, if you want to travel abroad in any of the other country, there are so many documentation, there are so many paperworks. Why it is required? Because the developed countries, which countries, those who are rich countries, they want to protect their own citizens first. They doesn't want to have the unemployment in their countries, because if the people they'll travel from here to there, so there the employment chances for their citizens will be decreasing. So they don't want to do that. So this basically they have put few restrictions. The name of those restrictions are called visa policies, which everybody is aware of, and the developed country they are doing it. So this is the developed countries put restriction of the visa policies to protect the job security of their citizens. Then some economists described globalization is a recolonization of the world. How it is a recolonization the world? Because there is the people, there is a poverty, they are not getting proper food, there are so many countries. So through the globalization it can be reattempted, recolonized. So then they opinion that globalization is harmful to weak nation and poor people. How it is globalization? Because the countries those who are poor, they if the people they are getting it higher education, they are getting it on the higher post, so what they want to settle in another countries, they want to go there because they can earn more there, because people are more aware than then at. But we cannot say it is always, but yes, they feel that globalization is harmful to weak nation. And arguments of supporters. So basically what is there in arguments of supporter? They generates the greater economic growth and well-being of the large section, because basically they do not look on the globalization doesn't work on the one country, it work on all over the world, whether it is developed country or whether it is developing country. So now till now we have studied the political consequences and economic consequences. Now cultural consequences. What is cultural consequences? So basically globalization leads to uniform culture or cultural homogenization, because Globalization doesn't belong to any of the religion or any of the language. It is for the uniform culture to all over the world. For example, due to globalization, each and every person, whether rich, whether poor, there is no caste discrimination. Everybody wants to have the fast food and all, what we eat, what we drink. So wearing jeans, these are all westernization. Having fast foods, pizzas, bakeries, burgers, so these are all the cultural consequences of globalization. So uniform culture is not a global culture, it is imposition of western culture, basically the western culturalization. It shrinks the rich culture heritage of the entire globe. So sometimes globalization modify the culture without overwhelming the tradition, as everybody is wearing kurta with jeans. So kurta is all our tradition dress, but if they wear the jeans, so there is a modification. So globalization modify the culture without overwhelming the tradition. So that is the effect of the cultural consequences. See now, what are the resistance to the globalization? See, globalization offers new job opportunities to the people and more choices to its consumer. So it also revolutionizes the thoughts. It offers new job because of the globalization, more choices, and there are so many consumers. Then globalization is not free from the criticism because it has west positive also, it has negative also. For example, now today every child want to have pizza, burger and all. They are not liking dal rice and all. Why? This is the negative effect. So the critics argued that the globalization is making rich person very richer, poor person very poor, because only in very few cases. Because suppose the multinational companies are foreign based company, they are working in the uh, developing countries. So developing countries, they are also following them. Then so then their own role is decreasing. So the globalization is making the rich countries more richer and the poor more poor. And it is all the western domination in trade and all other aspects of life is increasing, because it is a western dominating. Like if we talk about today, everybody wants to go for the jeans, everybody wants to go for the fast foods, everybody wants to go for the smartphones. So these are all the western domination. Then there is a major criticism against globalization. Now let us discuss what is the major criticism against globalization. See, as we have discussed, weakening of state, how it is a weakening of state, as the multinational companies, they are controlling everything. So due to that, the state's role is decreasing. So it is making the states weak. Then the crisis is small scale industry and retail business sector. Poor farmers are also victims of the globalization, because see now here the small scale industries are getting it harmed. Because the, for example, if the foreign companies, they are selling things here, it is more cheaper. If we talk about Chinese light, at the time of Diwali everybody wants to go for it. Number of things, China products are there which is very cheap rate, are sold at very cheap rates. So because of them, the small scale industries getting it affected. Poor farmers are also victims, because those who are rich farmers, they are having technology, they use the high yielding seeds, they use the high technology and they are doing good. But whereas the poor farmers, they do not have that much advancement, they do not have that much money, they are getting it harmed. Then traditional culture is harmed, as we have discussed, due to the westernization. Nobody wants to go for their traditional trends. These are all a little bit of modification in that. Then anti globalization movement is strong in different parts of the world. Yes, in few parts of the world they are and criticizing the globalization also. Now, what is India's role in globalization? What is India and globalization? During the colonial period, India was compelled to be an exporter of primary goods and a consumer of finished goods. So, because of this, it shattered the Indian economy. Then what happened after the independence? India decided to have their own protection. So they decided the policy adopt protection. So the import of good was restricted to protect the Indian economy. Like whatever the things has to be done, that has to be done within India. So basically import of the goods was restricted to protect the Indian economy, and this was there after the independence. Then the protectionism caused sluggish economic growth. Due to the protection, there was slightly economic growth was there, but yes, nobody was paying attention to the health of the Indians, to the education system of the Indians. The many people, they were not having the houses, they were not getting the facilities and attentions which they were deserving it. So this is in the globalization. Then India has adopted the new economic policy to come out with those financial crisis. So that economic policy, as we have discussed in the previous chapter also, India is a poor country, so India has to go for the mixed economy. So India की economy ने दो policies adopt करी. There was liberalization, privatization and globalization. These were all part of the new economic policy. Then India and resistance to the globalization. Now what was the India and resistance of the globalization? See, India witnessed movement led by the left wing organizations. Now what is left wing organization? The poor people, the laborer, the wages, daily wagers, small industrials and farmers, they were all against. If you see in this picture, the WTO kill farmers. What is WTO? WTO is the World Trade Organization. Whatever the policies were given by the World Trade Organization, so those were the policies which were working on the rich people, but whereas the poor people, the left wing organizations people, they were not happy with those policies because they were not having that much resources, they cannot invest that much first of all. So if the person he can invest, then only he can get the benefit. So India was the resistant to globalization. Then India's society is also reacted against the foreign TV channels, westernization, dress celebration, and of the Valentine Day. So this is all because of the India's resistance in the globalization. Thank you.